Ray Célestin, bonjour.
Bonjour.
Un grand merci d'avoir accepté l'invitation de la Fringale culturelle. On se fait une joie de vous rencontrer pour la toute première fois. Votre actualité en France, c'est ce nouveau livre. Alors, il y a marqué thriller sur la couverture, on va en parler ensemble. Moi, je vois plus ça comme un polar, comme une enquête. Je suis pas très fan du terme thriller. Votre livre s'appelle Carnaval, il est disponible aux éditions Le Cherche Midi. Par contre, à part critiquer le fait que ce soit thriller ou polar, moi je suis très très fan de ce bouquin. C'est vraiment un livre très sympa à lire justement pour la belle saison qui s'annonce. Dans quel état d'esprit vous vous trouvez justement à la sortie de ce roman chez nous en France?
It feels good. I come to France, to Paris quite often. I'm in London, so it's not far. But this is the first time I'm here with the book, not on holiday. So I'm seeing the different side of Paris, the publishing side. It's really good. Everyone's really, really nice.
Alors, tout de suite, on rentre dans le vif du sujet. Pour vous, comment vous le définissez ce roman dans le genre thriller, polar? Est-ce que vous êtes d'accord avec moi que c'est plus un polar quand même?
Yeah, it's more a police story, I think,
Mm.
maybe with some thriller elements. It starts off as a police procedural, and then the more it goes towards the end, the more thrillery it becomes to make it more exciting for the readers as they move along towards the ending. So yeah, it's a mix of thriller and police.
Ray Célestin, votre polar Carnaval se passe dans la Nouvelle-Orléans en 1919 et il s'agit donc d'un serial killer qui provoque la panique, qui frappe ses victimes à coups de hache et qui laisse sur les lieux de ses crimes des cartes de tarot. Après, il y a une enquête avec 3 protagonistes avec des métiers différents que j'évoquerai un petit peu plus tard. Comment est né ce roman dans votre tête? Est-ce que c'est parti d'un fait divers? Expliquez-nous.
I was doing research for another project for a TV company on another American serial killer, and we found out there was a competing project, a film was being made with the same idea. So we had to stop that project and look for another American serial killer. So I did lots of research and looking at different true crimes that happened, and we came across the Axeman, and it was a really interesting true life story. I wasn't sure at first if I should write about it, the case, and then I saw what was happening in New Orleans at the time. There was the killer, the birth of the jazz music, the end of the war. There was lots of social changes happening in New Orleans at the time. So the city and the time became really interesting to me, and the killing was an entrance to write about everything that was happening at the time.
Après, il y a 3 personnages, un journaliste, un détective privé et un ancien flic. Et c'est à travers ces 3 personnages que l'enquête se met en place. Et donc ça permet d'avoir 3 points de vue, 3 métiers différents. C'était votre idée?
Yeah, so that happened because I wanted to explore the city and everything that was going on in the city. So I wanted someone to go into the jazz clubs, someone to be in the police station, someone to be with the mafia, someone to be in the red light district, and it would have been difficult showing the whole city with one person, exploring every single part. It was maybe far-fetched. So I thought, okay, I can have one character looking at the jazz and the jazz musicians and the African-American part of town. I can have one person in the police station with the police and the politicians. I can have another character who's in the mafia, who is with the gangsters. So you have all 3 parts of the city, one character for each. And then as I was writing it, I realized that I could contrast the 3 different peoples.